my boy Billy Griffin Jr. Let's go. Legends of Baltimore, legends of Baltimore, known all over the world. Legends of Baltimore, legends of Baltimore, known all over the world. Legends of Baltimore, legends of Baltimore. Ooh, legends of Baltimore, legends of Baltimore, known all over the world.
That's a little better.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to Mr. Rodney Kelly Sr. How you doing, Mr. Kelly?
Doing wonderful. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. You're getting a chance to chill in my yard.
It's a beautiful hammock that you're sitting in right there.
Yeah, nice little swing my wife and I got. And we come out here like two little old folks.
Okay.
And sit back and enjoy the weather.
So who you playing right now?
This song is a song called Samba the Orpheum, I believe.
Okay.
And it's on the Roar guitar. One of my many girlfriends, wives, I call my guitarist.
Okay.
She gives a beautiful sound, and sometimes I get a chance to come out here and just listen to the birds and play a little guitar.
Play along with nature.
Play along with nature, get the wife out here, and we have a glass of wine.
Okay. And just,
now we have you here today, so we're enjoying it.
Well, I appreciate that. Listen, just to get started, just tell everybody who you are. Look right there at the camera and tell the people, hey,
My name is Rodney Kelly. I'm a local guitarist from here, the Baltimore DMV, if you want to say area. I have opportunity to play in this area, Baltimore, Virginia, Pennsylvania. And I've been here all of my life. So in this music business, about 52 years now that I've been at this. And it's been a wonderful journey playing the instrument that I love. And at this junction in life, I get to play the music that I love.
You know, this is our second interview, and I'm sorry I messed up on the first interview. I got to take ownership of that. But in the beginning, what kind of influenced you to start playing music?
Well, it stems all the way back from my childhood. I can remember maybe about 5 or 6 years old. My aunt who raised me, she would play the Platters records and Sam Cooke's records, and I had no interest in any instrument. But it was those vocal groups and harmonies back then that was really important. And I remember those songs, like Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, all of those type of songs, Johnny Mathis. But then came along this tall, skinny guy when I became a teenager named Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix.
I heard that sound like nothing I'd ever heard before.
Purple Haze.
Purple Haze. And it was on the Are You Experience album. Mm-hmm. And his big hit back then, that catapulted that island was Little Wing. And when I heard him just that much, I hadn't heard anything like that before. Ooh, I want to do that.
Okay.
And so I went couldn't afford a guitar. We didn't have a lot in those days. And so I just saved my pennies up till I remember it was $39. $39 went to a pawn shop. Now, Hendrix had a white Stratocaster guitar. I wanted something like that. That cost too much money.
Okay.
So they had this cream knockoff of something, no name guitar.
Okay.
But to me, it was the world.
Okay.
I spent my little $39, came home, and back then you just listened to records.
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 So back then, you talking about back then, we're talking about the 60s, 70s?
I'm talking about the 70s.
70s, okay.
70s. Records, we didn't have money for teachers.
Right.
Guys got together and camaraderie, one would show something, the other would show what they had. But the main thing is you would go home and you would put that record on and you'd play it 1,000 times trying to work out what was going on. If it was too fast, you'd take a nickel or a penny and put it on top of the needle and try to slow it down.
Okay.
After a while, you made grooves in the record. You couldn't play it anymore. But that's how we learned. We listened and we talked to one another. We watched guys do it.
Some of the groups back then.
It started with a group called Sound Experience.
Sound Experience, okay.
And the guy's name was Anton Scott, the guitar player. And he was, still is, he's around, good friend of mine, lives not too far from here now. And he let me come to their rehearsal to listen to them. They practiced at Easterwood Rec, which was on
Easterwood Rec, Bedloe Street. Bedloe and Baker?
Bedloe and Baker,
okay.
Right across from Carver High School.
Carver High School, yeah.
And so I would sit there and just listen to those guys play. He had a big 335 guitar. I liked it a little bit, but it wasn't Hendrix's Strat.
Okay.
So it wasn't my favorite. But now I take that over any Strat.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
But he was very instrumental, soft-spoken guy, and he would show me this, show me that. But still, it had to be Hendrix.
Had to be Hendrix.
Into the Hendrix thing
okay.
at that point. But that was when music was evolving.
Back then, they had this thing called Operation Champ, right?
That is, Operation Champ is my first incursion into live music, really. This was before I was even playing guitar. I lived on Drew Hill and Gold.
Drew Hill and Gold.
And they would bring this big truck and put it right in the middle of the street and open it, and it would open up to a big stage.
Wow.
And they did it right at Drew Hill and Gold, which means it was right at the corner of my house, so I could sit on my front steps and watch these bands. I don't remember who they were, but they all looked good.
Yeah.
They had outfits on, and they played music, and I just marveled at that, not knowing that years later, I would be one on that stage playing as well. They look good, they sound good, and it was something good for inner city.
Oh, man, the inner city back then. This is right after Martin Luther King was assassinated. So they kind of used Operation Champ as a means to appease the community, kind of, sort of. Yeah. And Operation Champ would come. And they came to my neighborhood. That's what got me into live music, Operation Champ. Back then they had Frankie and the Spindles and
all of those
Fabulous Friends.
Fabulous Friends and One, and they would play even on empty parking lots.
Right. They would play anywhere.
Anywhere, by the time, the Fabulous Friends and One, I was in high school by that time, that they had came out, and the guitar player, we called him Cuckoo-Bird.
Cuckoo-Bird.
And his big glasses. I remember we used to call him Cuckoo-Bird. Kenneth was the name of it. We were in the same class at Douglas.
Douglas High School.
And Douglas was the whole city's music.
That was music.
All
the band.
Bands went to Douglas.
Yeah.
I was in class, and we were in class together, so we would come over to each other's house. And he lived on Lafayette Avenue. Right?
Okay.
And we would banter off one another and try to get what we could get. Another guy who's passed along as well by the name of Daryl Stokes.
Daryl Stokes, I remember him.
He played with Ramsey Lewis.
Okay.
Yes. And Daryl had a stroke, and later he passed on as well. But it was so many great musicians that now I can look back and say I had access to practice the soft tones.
The soft tones. Oh, man. The Whatnots.
Jimmy
Briscoe and the Beavers.
All of that was here in Baltimore. And you could hear these guys. It wasn't nothing big for us because they were our compadres. Madhouse.
Okay.
Another group.
Grand Jury.
All these, some of these guys that went off to do great things.
What was the one, began with, not Madhouse, Witchcraft.
Witchcraft was another.
Yeah.
Yes. These guys, and the Brides of Frankenstein and George Clinton came here and got a lot of musicians for those groups that played, and it was just great. We didn't know. They considered him the world's greatest drummer. Dennis Chambers,
yeah.
We jammed together as teenagers.
Wow.
I just saw a video earlier this morning, watching on my phone, of Dennis Chambers, and they're in Stockholm.
Stockholm. Oh.
This guy played with the best of the best all over. But to us, he was just Dennis.
He was Dennis. Yeah, yeah. Rodney Ski Curtis, bass player.
Rodney Ski Curtis as well. Yeah. And we still talk of the ones that are around.
Okay.
We still talk via Facebook and text message one another. Robert LeGrand.
Robert LeGrand, Wawa.
Went
Yeah.
off to be Teddy Pendergrass, musical director.
Ooh.
They used to practice right on Edmondson Avenue and Bentlow Street.
Wow.
On the second floor, a place, a guy named Ham.
Man, okay.
And it was Frankie and the Spindles.
Tough
They were
group.
so good.
Count to 10.
They didn't
1,
carry
2,
a
3,
keyboard
4,
player.
5. They didn't have a keyboard
They
player.
had two guitars.
Ooh.
It was Wawa on guitar, and it was the guy I was telling you, Daryl Stokes.
Okay.
You didn't need it.
You need keyboarders.
Yeah. But to them, they were just everyday guys.
But back then, the rhythm section was about the guitar, the bass, the drum. You might have some horns coming in.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of keyboardists involved in the bands back then.
Yeah, it was a time when it was transitioning from the organ trios back in the pure jazz days and in the soul, we call the soul music days, to funk.
To funk.
And funk was built on the drums. Really, it started James Brown was funky. The rhythm that he came. And Robert Moochie Smith, drummer. And it was about that sound when Bootsy came out.
Okay.
It was about a sound of electronics. He used the Mutron on his bass.
The Mutron.
Yeah, when the Hallelujah and the ball.
Yeah. Never heard that
that
before. Yeah.
And when they came out with that, it was tremendous.
Right.
That's same with Prince when he came out. He was at the front of that synthetic sound.
Okay.
I hadn't heard anything, but now that's by the 80s. But back in the 70s, it was about rhythm. It was about dance.
Dance.
Because if you remember, the 70s was the time of disco.
70s, yeah.
That was the time of disco. It was about the dance. So you had your discos, you had the white guys doing disco music, and you had your funk bands like Parliament, the Barcades,
Cameo, Ohio Players,
Ohio Players,
Confunction. Yeah.
So it was about that rhythm, that feel, and how it made you want to dance.
Yeah, how you made you want to dance, yeah.
That was cool back in those days for me. But I kind of morphed because I put the guitar down 15 years. It didn't play at all.
Okay. Why'd you do that?
This started in the 80s because I got married in 82. And my wife and I started having children.
Okay.
It was important to me to have a mother and father in the house raising our children, not me running up and down the road.
Right.
Every night when my children went to bed, Daddy was reading that story.
Okay.
Daddy was taking them to school.
Okay.
Not discounting what Mom did. Okay, but they were my babies.
Okay.
She gave me two beautiful children.
Okay.
And so I wanted to be there for them. And there was a lot of opportunities to go on the road, but I chose this route, being a husband and father. But the guitar always called me.
Okay.
Even while it was down, it called me. Then as time went on and my son started playing, that was the catapult.
Rodney Kelly Jr.?
Rodney Kelly Jr. He first started off playing bass.
Bass?
Self-taught, and he could play Marcus Miller, like Marcus Miller, at 12 years old.
Wow.
The storyteller, Bass Day 2000, I took him to New York and they had it at a hotel, Bass Day, and Marcus was there. And Rodney Jr. started playing Marcus Miller. No lessons. When I got back to Baltimore, went on the web, they had his picture all over him playing. Bass was almost tall as he was playing. And then one day he said, Dad, I want to play piano. I said, okay. Things cost a lot of money. Went to, it was Kmart then.
Kmart, okay.
Bought a little Casio.
Casio, okay. That little teeny.
Gave it to him. Then a couple of weeks he was playing Oscar Peterson.
Ooh, on a Casio.
On a Casio. But where did you get that from? Because you never took lessons. It was a gift that he was given. I still haven't figured out how you got correct fingering. Because he never took lessons.
I could never get my fingers to work, man. Like, I love music. Music has been in my life all my life, but my fingers don't work. My mind can hear the stuff. My fingers don't go with mine.
That's what, you really got to work at it. But he really blossomed. And that gave me well, now they're older. They're children. Okay. Still didn't want to go up and down the road because I was a network engineer and that was my job.
Okay.
And what have you. But it made me want to play. And this was the time of smooth jazz.
Smooth jazz.
Yeah.
Tell me about smooth jazz.
Which they call it smooth jazz. Come on now. They were taking R&B songs, lyrical songs, putting a horn on it and slowing it down.
Ooh.
They would take songs like That's the Isley Brothers. The Isley Brothers have never been jazz.
Right.
But they slowed it down, put that feel. Norman Brown had a big
Norman
hit.
Brown, right.
It was a horn player that did it. So a lot of those R&B songs that were already done, they rehashed it, and they gave it a title, Smooth Jazz.
Smooth Jazz, okay.
So now it seems that it's a new genre coming up, and it's a marketing point, And a lot of guys did very well in that genre. I enjoyed it, but I found myself hearkening back to the things I heard when I was a kid. We call real jazz.
Real jazz.
Straight ahead jazz.
Straight ahead. Okay, what's straight ahead?
Well, with the straight ahead, more tends to be, it comes from big band sound. Okay. Where they had an orchestra playing.
Dizzy Gillespie, those type of guys.
Yes. Dizzy Gillespie, Duke Ellington.
Duke Ellington.
And a lot of it was swing music. And you would hear on the drums. And I went to listen to guys like Kenny Burrell, Joe Pass, of course, Wes Montgomery.
Wes Montgomery, my mother used to listen to him. We listened to him every day.
That was a special sound. And it wasn't a keyboard-driven sound.
Right.
It wasn't what smooth jazz was doing, which was more about the solo.
Okay.
It wasn't about the vocal part.
Okay.
Because if you took the vocal part, now you're back to what the song originally sounded like.
Okay.
Smooth jazz came about, and it did good for instrumentalists because we could solo and play the melody.
Do your thing, right?
Yes.
Right.
But that Wes Montgomery sound, it was the sound of the guitar.
Okay.
And I wanted that sound.
So who was your favorite guitarist?
Oh, man. I would give you top three. It would have to be Wes Montgomery, George Benson. Now that third one, it is really close. I think of guys like Pat Martino.
Okay.
That sort of thing. These guys, physicality, Hal Farlow, Barney Kessel.
Okay.
I did a thing a couple of months ago, maybe last year, at Keystone Corner, and I pulled together Robert LeGrand, Stan Cooper from DC, Ron Thompson, and myself.
Okay.
What I was trying to recreate is something they call, if you look on YouTube, Great Guitars.
Great Guitars, okay.
And it had Kenny Burrell, Grant Green, Barney Kessel, and this one other guy, I forget who, I think he was a Spanish guitar. And they all four sat next to it, and they played songs together.
Ooh.
It was about the guitar.
About the guitar.
Each one brought a different thing to the table, and it was that sound. It's that sound that I really fall in love with.
Okay.
That has kind of molded me to where I am now. I play a lot of solo guitar.
Okay.
It's nice having the band.
Okay.
But as for me, as a guitar player, I say a guitar player should be able to entertain a band all by himself.
Okay.
One of the great things of this instrument is that it can play chord and melody at the same time.
Okay. Give us an example.
For example, let's take a standard.
Okay.
Now you'll hear, Misty, look at me. That's the melody.
Okay.
I can do that chord and melody at the same time. You still got.
Okay.
So if you know the words to that song, you could sing that song, but still have the chords behind you. All by yourself. And that's what I was drawn to.
Okay.
It really makes you practice because you can't come out half.
Okay. And Baltimore's a tough town. You come out half, they're going to boo you off the stage.
Baltimore is a rough town because they are more, I've found, folks will say, oh, that don't sound like the record. Okay, you want the record? Go home and listen to the record. That's okay. This is what I'm presenting today. And it goes way back. It even goes back to clubs like the Sportsman's Lounge.
Sportsman's Lounge. Oh.
You know what it is now?
It's a shopping center.
A
supermarket, yeah.
Yeah, the parking lot of the supermarket. But I can remember my first incursion into the Sportsman's Lounge. These cats were playing jazz, and I mean, they were really playing it. Mickey Fields,
yeah.
Remember that thing? You know, people like Bobby on drums. They were doing the thing. So I go in there with my Les Paul guitar. My aunt had bought me a Les Paul. I'm feeling pretty good about myself. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna show them something. All right, let's rock the guitar. I'm gonna fire it up.
Okay.
I go in there and them guys are playing across chords and they're tearing it up. The guy says, who was like the doorman, let you in if you had an instrument. Said, because you didn't have to pay if you had an instrument.
Okay.
We let you get on up there now. See, you got an instrument. Get on up there. Okay, I'm gonna get up there. You walk onto the front and I'm listening to what these guys do. I'm right by the door. I ease right over. I would hear that they would stop in the middle of the song if you're in there messing it up and set you down.
Ooh.
They'd say, you can come back, but go home and practice.
Go practice.
So you had one or two options.
Music was really powerful in Baltimore.
Powerful. Yeah.
I mean, they had all the clubs down the avenue, the Sphinx Club.
The Sphinx Club, the Paradise, let's see. There was even the Royal in the Region.
The Royal in the Region, yeah.
James Brown and all those guys.
Yeah.
It was concentrated into one area.
Yeah.
All the economic black dollars was going to that area.
Yeah.
You know, they talk about segregation and desegregation. That was one of the worst things that happened. Because when desegregation started moving and people who lived in that area, they took the economic dollar, they went and they started moving other places.
Other places.
Now you're taking the economic dollar away from a place where it was concentrated.
Okay.
Because as I understand the history, we couldn't go to the Hippodrome.
No.
You didn't play in the downtown clubs.
No.
You didn't play out in the county.
No.
It was all there. That made it strong.
Right.
But now you disperse it and the dollar's gone and the only thing that's left is those who couldn't afford to get out.
Right.
And it's still that way.
Right.
To this day.
Right.
But musically, guys would tell me that you could work 7 nights a week from one place
from one club to another, up and down the avenue.
Right, up and down the avenue.
Wow.
Now, not that way anymore.
Well, they don't have any clubs. There are no clubs in Baltimore anymore.
Yeah, very, very few. And technology has hurt a lot of that.
Okay.
It has helped in some instances, but hurt a lot. You don't have to practice hard to get a good sound.
Okay.
AI can create one for you.
Ooh. I don't want to talk about AI.
You know,
tell AI something. You know, I need a trap bass or a rhythm guitar with drums, and then just put it together, and you're like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I created that.
The computer created it for you. And you know, I go to some of the jam sessions that are still around, and you see the young musicians that have come out. They're still there. There's still young ones that enjoy and love the music, but the outlets for them are not like it was, as we say, back in the day.
Back in the day.
And you hear more rehash than creativity.
Than creativity, right.
We had to create.
Right. Well, back then, everything was new. It was, you played it, you sang it. There was no one going to the studio and fix it or anything like that. If it wasn't right, you said they set you down, you know.
Yeah. And you can listen to that and hear that in the records. If you go today, let's say, and put on maybe Who's That Lady by the Ozzy.
Okay.
Put a metronome to it. It's going one. By the time it gets to the end of that record, that thing is racing.
Right.
It's going fast. That was live. They played that.
Right.
Didn't auto-quantize.
Right. Auto-quantize it. Yeah.
So now, I see these young cats and they're coming, and I mean, good, very great musicians, but they're just rehash. Now, one could say, well, there's nothing new under the sun. That is true. But the quest for individuality in it, this is what I hear. First thing, what does it pay? How much money? And some of the older musicians have fell into that trap.
How much is it paying?
When we picked up these instruments, we didn't have a connection with money with it.
It was about the music.
It was about, I want to play guitar. I want to play this, I want to play that. Then it came along, okay, you can make money out of it. Yes, you can. But it's a small percentage. Right. There's millions, maybe 1 billion musicians. It's not that many places. And now, technology has helped in this way. You can get a computer and go record, put it on YouTube, put it on TikTok and what have you, and your music all over the place. All over the country, the entire
all
world.
The world, yeah.
I applaud that. It gives an outlet for some.
Right.
But it's different. Look at the music. You go to a club today. They're still playing Earth, Wind, and Fire. Right. How old is Earth, Wind, and Fire's music?
50 years.
They're still playing Temptations.
Right.
How old
60
is
years.
50, 60, 70
70 years old.
You know, and that sort of thing. Okay, created new. They were taking sampled. If you remember when sampling came out back in the 80s.
Back in the 80s, yeah.
So now what's
That's what I was saying. There was no such thing as sampling.
there was no such
You
thing as
played.
sampling. You had to create it.
Yeah.
You had to create it. Now I can listen to somebody else's music, and hear a melody on top of that and put it on top of it.
Wow.
It's made money for some. I can't. That's their success. But I'm looking at the creative part of it. Because after a while, it all begins to sound the same.
Sounds the same. And so how do you get that? How do you get that My Girl classic? How do you get that what's going on classic sound today that's going to last 50 years? It's going to last 60 years, you know?
Difficult. Today's music, in a lot of emphasis, is you take, let's say, 20 years. Okay, what's done in 20 years of a generation becomes locked in there. There's a girl, Samara Joy is her name. She's making big waves. She sounds like Sarah Vaughan.
Oh.
But to a new generation, that's something new.
That's something new.
Ain't nothing new.
Right.
Sarah did it back in the 50s.
Right.
So you have your generations that go, and then they find something. What's the guy's name? He sounds like Marvin Gaye.
Yeah. I know you're talking about. I was just thinking about him.
He sounds like Marvin Gaye. Yeah. And a lot, you hear that? Marvin did that.
That is, he's just mimicking Marvin.
Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars, great entertainer though.
So they go back and they grab the old stuff and they put their spin on it. That's beautiful if you can create and make something new.
Right.
But even not. Some are very close to it.
Right.
And to a new generation,
that sounds good.
New.
Yeah, that's new. That's new. Matter of fact, Drake's song, he came up with the song Hotline Bling.
Okay.
And that was Timmy Thomas' song.
Yeah.
You know?
People don't know it. My daughter, when she was at Woodlawn, we would always laugh about this. When I think it was Diddy, and the movie was Godzilla.
Okay.
And he had that and they were like, "Ooh, did you hear that song?" And they think it is something new. And my daughter would say, "That's Led Zeppelin," because we played that, and that was back in the 70s.
Wow.
But without having that exposure to all types of music and expose oneself, and this is individual, you have to do it yourself. You got to go for it and listen to a lot of different types of music.
A lot of people today don't even know our history, don't even know our musicians. And that's why we're here today with you, right? You know, this is Legends of Baltimore.
Now it make me feel ancient.
No, you're not ancient. You're ancient. You're ancient, but you are our history. You are our legend. They need to know who you are so they can find out who they are. You know, so that
it's really interesting. I really enjoy hobnogging and mingling with the younger cats. A lot of the younger cats have chops. And Dennis made this statement, Chambers made this statement one time. He says he saw a lot of drummers and they had great chops. And really, but can you just hold the groove? Just hold the groove. Stay there. James Brown, I think, was the greatest teacher of that. If you listen to his music, it didn't change.
Yeah, it didn't change.
If you had to do that for 6 or 7 minutes.
Wow.
Not, well, I'm bored now, let me stick this in there.
Mm-hmm.
You had to learn to lock, be repetitive, and play the song.
Play the song.
I would always say the most important part of a song is the melody. You got a band and the band is drowning out the vocalist of the melody, you're wrong.
Yeah.
If you're not playing the melody, you're wrong. If you're playing, let's say you're playing a song, everybody knows the song. I go outside and I come back. You're still playing the song. I should be able to know what that song is.
Right.
And then you've gone because I can and throwing all of these things. It's not that song.
It's not the song anymore.
Then create your own. If you're creative, create your own. That sort of thing. And I try to tell, it's a discipline. Sort of.
Discipline. Okay, that's a good word for it.
Learning your fundamentals.
Okay.
All our fundamentals in our music come from this. We had to learn do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. It was a movie we went to, The Sound of Music.
Sound of Music.
But it's built off of that. Learning what major or minor is. How they're used.
So, major and minor, give it to me again.
Like, a major chord is built off of the 1, the 3, and the 5, or that do, re, mi. So I'll say 1, step, there we go with this chord. 1, 3, and 5. That gives you, that's a major. If I want it to be minor, That second note, the third, is drop the half step.
Oh.
Major, minor. But that's one place. Can you major, minor? Can you major, minor, major 7?
Oh.
Play them all over your instrument, because that variety of sound. Now, for instance, if I'm playing a song, you hear that in many old songs. But that's going to sound different if I do it here. Or those voicings, how to bring that out, what you want it to feel like.
Right.
Because it feels different, it sounds different, although it's this, all the same chord.
Wow.
But the textures are different. Learning what they are and how you can use it, because each person hears something different.
Right.
Right? And so I may hear something, and like a song I play a lot, George. Now, we say jazz. Is that jazz?
That's jazz. It's not jazz? What is it?
You know what that is?
What?
That's 1950s doo-wop.
Oh, that's doo-wop.
Watch this. Okay, he smoothed it to here. Same thing.
Okay.
Now, I'll play that song. Now, the chord is going here. I'll revoice the chord.
Okay.
You hear this on top instead of this.
Okay.
But it's the same. It could go here. Any one of those notes could go on top, rearranging those chords.
Okay.
But how will you feel?
How do you
What
feel?
do you want to say? Because I can listen to this. Different guys play that same song with different voicing. It's going to give me a different feeling, a different vibe.
Interpretation.
Yes. So for the young ones to do that, and there's some cats out there that really do it well.
Okay.
You know, we're crippled because they took music education out.
That's a big problem. You know, back in the day, Southern, Douglas, Emerson High School. I mean, every school had their thing. Some were bands, some were singers.
Yes.
But today we don't have that. You know, there's no school bands. It was nothing to see a band marching down the street in Baltimore.
All of the time.
All the time. Marching bands.
And we had Battle of the Bands.
Battles of the bands. Ooh, that should be nice.
And if you were in one of those bands or in school around me, you wouldn't want to be called a scrub.
No.
You could call a scrub back then, right?
Right.
Made you go home and practice.
Right.
And come back. So it was that, okay, I can fit in this because I can do this and I can do that.
Right.
You know? I'm not going to press a button and it do it for me.
Right. That's the whole problem.
Okay. So it made
We had venues. We had the Embassy Ballroom.
Yes.
We had the Ambassador Ballroom. We had downtown. We had the Famous Ballroom.
Yeah.
You know, those types of places where and then of course we had the Union Halls where there was always a band playing. There was big posters up all over the place. Who's playing where this week?
Four bands at one time.
Yeah.
They're in a lot of different places. But that's a generation that if we don't show that to our younger, they don't know that exists.
Right.
And that is what made, as you would say, cream rise to the top.
Right.
Because you're not going to get up and make a fool out of yourself.
Right.
Can you imagine a singer who has a half voice trying to do a falsetto and you coming on before the soft tones of Marvin Brown?
Oh, Marvin Brown. Oh, come on, man. One of the greatest tenors of all time. Yeah.
You know, it would be embarrassing.
Yeah.
But it made you do something.
Yeah.
It made you want to practice. It made you practice.
Yeah.
And so that's where the generation, and now I get an opportunity to play a lot of places. And a lot of places out of town that I play are what they would call highline places. Very expensive.
Very expensive. Okay.
And I'll go in there with just my guitar. To be able to look at an audience, when I walk in a place, I'm calculating age.
Okay.
So I'll go to an audience, let's say in Chambersburg,
Okay.
PA. That's off the beaten path. It's a place called the Orchard.
Okay, I've heard of the Orchard.
The Orchard. I go in there. I may be the only black in there. So I'll set up my guitar, and I'm looking at ages, and I know what you're thinking. Is he gonna play rap music, or what is he going to do? You know. but it's a dinner place.
Okay.
So they come to eat.
Okay.
And they don't expect you to. When I was 17,
Do some
it
Frank.
was a very good year. Oh, I have your attention right now because that's your history. And it sold 1 million copies. I already know songs like
Girl from Ipanema.
that song wins everywhere I go.
Wow.
And I'm not talking about just the older crowd.
Right.
A good song is a good
It's a
song.
good
It's going
song.
to come get you.
Right.
For our younger ones, do you have that library to
Right.
be able to go in any genre and play? Or don't be stuck in one.
Don't be stuck in one.
I have opportunities out in Essex, and it's a different dichotomy.
Now, I caught you at the GLA soundstage a couple times.
Yeah.
And you played jazz, what you call straight ahead. But one day you did something that blew my mind. I didn't expect it. You played Maggot Brain.
Man, that's what we came up on.
Before I knew I had to rise above it all. And y'all know I ain't going there, Rick. You got together yet, Ron?
He stepped on the distortion pedal and solo for 7 minutes.
Yeah. And listen, that's how I used to talk to girls.
Where'd that come from?
The guitar, that sound.
That sound.
That's rock guitar. That's some kind of rock.
So who pioneered that?
Who pioneered the rock? Jimi Hendrix?
Hendrix.
Okay.
Pioneered that rock sound with the distortion.
With distortion
like
guitar.
Yes.
Voodoo
yes.
Child.
There were others doing it, but not to that degree.
Okay.
That Jimmy really pulled it out. And
Okay.
So now you have these great rock guitar players, and they will all hearken and give homage to Jimmy and say, hey, we heard him.
Well, that's what Ernie said. Ernie said that. He said, Jimmy used to be, Jimmy taught him what he did.
Well, that's a urban legend.
Urban legend?
Jimmy didn't teach Ernie Isley.
Oh.
Ernie Isley was a little boy.
Okay.
Jimi Hendrix played with the Isley Brothers, and he lived with the Isley Brothers.
Okay.
Ernie says out of his mouth that he watched Jimmy, he was inspired by Jimmy.
By Jimmy.
But he wasn't playing then.
Okay.
He was inspired by Jimmy.
Okay.
And if you listen to Ernie Isley's sound, his sound is unique.
Yeah, it's unique.
It's very unique. He's not raw like Jimmy. He's a great songwriter too. You know, I don't think he ever got, I won't say his just due, but in the industry, very respected guitar player.
Okay.
I mean, this guy writing For the Love of You. Who's That Lady? Look what he did with Seals and Crofts' Summer Breeze.
Summer Breeze,
if
oh
you
man.
listen to the original, which is beautiful, listen to what he did with it.
Yeah. So he rewrote Summer Breeze?
Shall we say rehashed?
Rehashed it?
Because the song structure is the same, but it didn't have that sound with distortion on it. And the long solo at the end. Seals and Crofts didn't have that. And he made it more with Ronald Isley's beautiful voice. It fit our people. So
it fit our people.
Yeah.
They did It's Too Late. Carole King's, that was another song that kind of... Yes.
It's Too Late.
It's Too Late. It's Too Late.
They redid that. They were a great group.
That Ohio album, that was one of my favorites.
With It's Too Late, going slow.
Going slow, going slow. I
still listen to those things. I still listen to it. They were inspiration for me when I was coming along.
Fire and Rain, they killed that. Who's Fire and Rain?
Fire and Rain was James Taylor.
James Taylor, yeah.
I See Fire and I See
Fire.
Yeah. And it was a great inspiration because to get that type of sound back then, you had to have some money.
Oh.
To buy the pedals, to buy the equipment.
Okay.
So I could only listen to them.
Okay.
I want to sound like that, As you go on, you acquire and you do other things and you learn to do other things. And Baltimore has really made it, say for me, the opportunity to express what I want to express.
Okay.
I'm from New York, lived there. And a funny story is in the 70s, I was staying with my aunt during the summer in New York, and I stayed a little past the summer. So when I first got out of high school, everything was going on at that time, and I never tapped into it. I mean, Pat Martino, Benson, all those guys was running the clubs up there.
Okay.
I could have tapped into it.
Okay.
For some reason, I never did. And now looking back, I really say that I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, you probably got saved because it was sex, drugs, and rock and roll back then.
And I was impressionable. I could have, like many, got into the drugs, or I could have gotten very famous, and I might not have met my wife. I'm married 43 years. So
congratulations on that.
Serving my God Jehovah, marrying that woman to me is the best thing that ever came along.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So I'm glad I didn't.
Okay.
And do it. And having my 3 beautiful children and grandchildren, what have you, it has worked out wonderfully.
Okay. Okay.
I've seen some guys who've gone and they've gotten into drugs or they just haven't taken care of themselves.
Okay.
And now they're my age and got nothing.
Got nothing.
That's sad.
That's sad.
That's sad.
Yeah.
I always tell musicians, look, this music industry that we're in is a dirty industry, but be smart. Do not throw your whole lot into that because this is an up, down. If you hot today, you're gone.
Look how fast that turns around on people.
Just like that.
Yeah.
And if you are in your 50s and 60s and you still whining about what clubs play, you in a bad
Right.
They never made anybody rich.
Right.
The ones who made the big money had hit records out, and some of them didn't get rich because the record companies took their...
Let's talk about that. Yeah. Publishing, talk about the record business.
The record business. And it's funny because the Motown owner, and if you read the biographies of different ones, that he wouldn't talk publishing.
He wouldn't talk publishing.
And for us, as backs, and I'll take you to the 60s, even before that, it was the lure of stardom. Oh, I'm playing for 1,000 million people and everybody loves me. They're buying my records. I'm getting royalties. But they weren't educated, many. Some were but weren't educated to know that every time they played that record, a royalty was paid to the writer, to the publisher. Back then, I believe it was a nickel, 2.5 cents to the writer. That may not seem like much, but multiply that times
millions
20 times in one radio station. How many radio stations in the city? How many in the country? And that thing being played every day. People were getting really rich.
Okay.
And in a lot of the contracts from record companies, the record companies say, we're going to take the publishing. Or 70, 80% of the publishing. So what these guys had to do is make their money off of shows.
Off of shows, wow.
Well, after a while, that physicality,
yeah.
you're out on the road, then they're taking stuff to get high to keep them up.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't get along, they break up.
Right.
But the record company's still making money.
Still making money off of you.
Still playing on the radio stations.
Right.
The ads, the TVs, they're making money.
Yeah, talking about them legends of Baltimore, yo. Woo. So many of them. Billy Holiday, Cab Calloway, Drew Hill, Madhouse, and my boy Billy Griffin Jr. Let's go.